Eventually, we're all going to pass away, but wouldn't it be great for our great-great-grandchildren to be able to see us? Not from a video, but to be able to interact with us. And that's what this technology is leading us to be able to do. That's a positive, right?
Hello and welcome to On Air with Aashka. Today we are joined by two brilliant minds, Dr. Kevin Jones and Mr. Andeed Ma. Dr. Kevin Jones is an associate professor at Indiana University and is the director of Center for Teaching and Learning. With 30 plus years of leadership across industries, he has co-led the university's Gen AI task force and he specializes in organizational AI integration. He is a sought-after speaker for international conferences and media events.
Deepfake is a good thing. If you know about the news in China, the parent and the kid was separated for more than 20 years. People use the deepfake technique was to basically take the child images and make deepfake into what the child looks like in 20 years time. And they actually got a lost and found
OMG.
of the child.
Yeah.
Same tool that used to deceive someone could be used for good.
Mr. Andeed Ma is the president of RIMAS Singapore and a partner at Artificial Intelligence International Institute in Singapore. With 17 plus years of experience in AI and risk management, he lectures at Singapore universities and he has co-authored the most amazing book called AI for Humanity. It's a must-read book for every person working in AI. He has also led the development of Singapore standard for ISO 42001-2023 AI management system. The Dutch childcare benefits scandal, where an AI system wrongly accused 26,000 parents of fraud, causing shattered families and even suicides. And this is just one of a kind incident. A lot of them have happened because of AI tools.
The key is this acceleration. At least in my lifetime, never seen technology go from 0 to 100% in a blink of an eye. For organizational leaders, I use a word that seems counterintuitive. I say patience.
As a risk practitioner, I'm always asked, with AI, should we all change our risk policies? Nurturing AI is a very important verb that we have come together. Dr. James and I, we thought about looking at AI like a child that has various stages in life, from an infant to a young adult to a teenager.
These two AI visionaries reveal how AI can help us live forever, reunite lost children with their families, and create a future where humanity thrives alongside AI rather than being replaced by it. Hello and welcome to On Air with Aashka. Today we are joined by two brilliant minds, Andeed Ma and Professor Kevin Jones. Both of them are working towards AI serving humanity rather than other way around. I'm thrilled to have you both and thank you so much for doing this episode. I'm thrilled to have this conversation forward.
Thank you for having us.
So let's dive right into the questions. So I noticed a parallel in both of your works. Indeed, in your book AI for Humanity, you advocate for a shift from human versus AI to human with AI. And Professor Kevin, in one of your podcast interview, you emphasize that we should talk about people with tech rather than people before tech. So I would love for both of you to unpack this kind of subtle but powerful shift in the language that represents, and why do you believe it's so crucial for the organizations and society as we navigate this AI revolution?
When I talk about people with tech, the reality is we've always been with tech. And so while I still agree conceptually with people before tech in terms of placing people as a priority, the additional thing I want to say, though, is that we must all understand that tech is going to be with us. Not to fear it, not to demonize it, recognizing some of the potentials and the downsides. As I say, we can do an and. We can look at both the negatives, but we can look at the positives. So if we say people with tech, it's who we are. Tech is us. It's not some nebulous thing that's away from us. It's us. So that's why I say people with tech.
What about you, Andy?
I think I'm aligned with Professor Jones, right? As you can appreciate how human beings think about something and actually get into action on something. That's why when we actually put our pen onto the paper, we wanted to make this fundamental shift of mindset of what we call AI as usual, which is what people might be thinking.
Yes.
to AI for humanity, right? So now you're not just trying to use AI to solve your own problem, but looking at humanity as your client, as someone that you're serving to solve the problem. And that's when you actually do not undermine this amazing emerging technology by just solving a content, creating a content, but say creating a content that helps to get people out of poverty. That itself is a very powerful message that we are trying to bring across. And I think having ethical and societal impact when it comes to adopting technologies, it's not something new, but yet it's not something that people do on a day-to-day basis. So therefore, we really hope that with this, efforts that we are putting into to kickstart this momentum of what we call human first impact,
Yes.
right? So human first impact is really something we hope people can now start adopting, start having the awareness, and that itself is a big step.
Yes, yes, yes. I totally agree. And that's a great way to think. And yeah, as you mentioned, that it's human first rather than profits first, as mentioned in your book. So, yes, I do agree. Let's move on to the next question. Indeed, in your book, AI for Humanity, you describe the Dutch childcare benefits scandal,
Oh
wherein
yeah,
an AI system wrongly accused 26,000 parents of fraud, causing
yeah,
shattered families and even suicides. So, and this is just one of a kind incident. A lot of them have happened because of AI tools. So, as a convener for ISO 42001 AI management systems, how can organizations implement your three-dimensional AI trust infrastructure to prevent similar human tragedies while still benefiting from AI? Just
yeah,
for my audience, the three-dimensional AI trust infrastructure involves nurturing AI with human values, infuse AI with risk wisdom, and guide AI with meta AI for governance.
sure. Maybe I talk a little bit about the word nurturing.
Yes. Yeah, 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 sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean these are three very big topics. I hope to
Hmm.
give some time to Professor Jones as well to share. But
Yeah.
nurturing AI is a very important word that we and a verb that we have come together. Dr. James and I we thought about looking at AI like a child that has various stages in life, from an infant to a young adult to a teenager, and we are like the parent, and we are
Yeah.
parenthooding the child. And likewise, the word nurturing bears the same connotation. And when we say human values, bear in mind that it comes in both sides of the values, the sins and the virtues.
Yes.
We are humans. So unintentionally, we will do things, we will teach things that are not right due to greed, due to fear, due to anger. You display certain actions. I'm just talking about human and human right now. All right.
Yeah.
And this kind of actions tends to be not, it's subconscious, right? So it's like you may
Yes.
have performed the act of anger or jealousy and you realize, oh, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Your virtue kicks in.
When you contemplate, you realize that that
Yes.
was wrong. Yeah.
And that's human to human. What makes it
Yes.
different between human and AI is that AI may now not look like your child, but like I say, it is a mindset, right? The way we
Mhm.
are using it is, we kind of bring in these sins into it, right? We try to use AI to discover someone's privacy. We use AI to invade on human rights. We use AI to create differential fairness. So these are things that we can't stop, but we have to assume that these are happening already. So what then the other end of the spectrum will be the virtues, right? So how do we do more good using AI? How do we now start using AI to watch upon you, creating a reminder to you, or even helping you to sieve out biases, harmfulness, malicious content, etc. Right. So these are ethical guidelines that not just users has to know, even the creator of an AI should know. And that's the reason why in the 42001 you see a very, very important pattern, and that pattern is where we look at three groups of people: people who create AI, people who deploy AI. So this deployment is between creating and going live, and also of course everyone is a user. So this
User.
is the majority. So how do we ensure that we nurture AI with human values when we understand the different roles that we are playing? So that's pretty much just on nurturing AI with human values. But of course,
Yeah.
love to share more on the other two in the future with all.
Yeah. Sure, sure, sure. Yeah. Professor, do you have any thoughts on this one?
Yes, absolutely. Basically, what I'm hearing, and I agree 100%, is that we have control. Now, I've heard people talk about, they're out of control and we don't know what these things are going to do. And,
The
you know,
sci-fi
my
stuff.
yes, my to the people who say that is, well, let's figure it out. Okay. If we create it, we must be in charge of it. Okay. And what are we in charge of? Why can't we create with the best of our values rather than allow the worst of human values to take over? And we can do this. And that's where I always, when I speak mostly on positives of AI. And because I have an assertion, it's very easy to talk about the negatives. If you want to quickly get attention, talk about all the bad things that AI does. Oh, deepfakes. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It can be used for surveillance. Absolutely. All the bad things. But then that then misses the great opportunities we have to transform our societies in positive ways. And
Exactly.
that's where we have to speak continually about using it for the right way. And that's why I'm hearing Brother Ma speak. Okay? Is that we can do this if we place human positive values in front of the negative.
Exactly. Agree. Right. I mean, in fact, Professor Yuan's deepfake is a good thing. If you know about some of the news in China, I think in a particular year there was a lot of kidnapping, and the parent and the kid was separated for more than 20 years. What some of the people use the deepfake technique was to basically take the child images and make deepfake into what the child looks like in 20 years time, and they actually got a lost and found of you know of
OMG.
the child. So
That's a
same tool,
great, yeah,
same
yeah,
tool that used to deceive someone, like what
yeah.
Professor Joan mentioned, could be used for
Yes,
good.
yes,
That-
exactly.
That's
After
that's
all,
so
it's a
true.
dual use technology.
And I just want to add that there's also the positive people are talking about. You can use these tools, you can leave a legacy with these tools. Okay. So eventually we're all going to pass away, but wouldn't it be great for our great great grandchildren to be able to see us? Not from a video, but to be able to interact with us. And that's what this technology is leading us to be able to do. And I look forward to doing that one day, is to create that, if you will, AI person of me that represents me. And I leave that to my great great grandchildren so they can interact with me. That's a
Awesome.
positive, right?
Awesome.
Yes,
It's
yes,
it, it's fantastic, right? I mean, Professor Joan, I felt that we are like we are in sync in how we think. Because I always talk about actually immortality is redefined
yes,
with the
exactly.
with technology right now, because it may not be even you after you're gone, because this is the real you, and the real you still exists in another dimension where trade still goes on, teaching still goes on, learning still goes on, and you literally quadruple the population when we can keep experts and best brains to be still living and thinking. So that's something amazing.
Yes, 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 yes. So I 100% agree with the immortality part, and I hope all of our great great grandchildren are
But
able
bear
to
in mind,
listen to.
my wife don't agree. So I have
Okay.
hot debate at home, but I
I
will leave it to
my
another
wife has something
podcast.
to say about that too, so I hear you.
She will say, I will love the virtual you right not now, not you.
And that's
Leave it for
interesting.
another day. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So on that note, I recently saw an AI influencer's video how he used one of his journals, past journals, and to solve his real problems that he is facing in today using the past himself that was written in the journal using Claude. So of course, it's a way better solution to use your past self to solve your current day problems. So of course, I see that great benefit of AI in the mental space and in immortality that we are trying to have. So yeah, I do agree with what both of you said. So yeah, let's move on to the next question. So Professor Kevin, in your podcast, you mentioned that we went from ChatGPT to agents seemingly in a blink of an eye. And the difference now is the speed of change. Of course, we have seen a lot of changes in the past in history, but this is the speed that matches with AI. So, as someone who is deeply involved in organizational change, business ethics, and Indiana University's Generative AI Task Force, how do you recommend organizations manage this accelerating pace without sacrificing human values and ethics in this cutthroat competition that is going on at organizations?
I've been fond of using the term we're in the age of accelerated transformations. Okay.
Yes.
I wish I would have invented it, but I didn't, but I use it anyway. And because, the digital age, the AI age, fourth industrial revolution, those are all fine terms. But the key is this acceleration. At least in my lifetime, never seen technology go from 0 to 100% in a blink of an eye. It was just 2022 when we started hearing about it. Now, again, we understand that AI technology has been around for quite a long time. But with regard to the accessibility for everyone, that's what changed in 2022. And from that point, it is part of just about everything we do. So, to answer your question, I answer that question often in a strange way. For organizational leaders, I use a word that seems counterintuitive, say patience. Okay? Patience. Even though, yet we're running fast and the technologies are changing rapidly, and this week, each day we hear about something new. But at the same time, one of the things that leaders sometimes miss is that they have a heads up to what's coming before people have it. And so they're thinking, okay, we got to make this change. We got to move this direction. And the people, the organizational members, may not be right there with them. So leaders, as hard as it is to do in business, have to exert a little patience. Don't rush everything. Even though the age is fast, we can create a sense of we're moving without moving too fast. Yes, we have to move with the technology. We have to adopt different approaches, processes. Yes, but the leader has to be able to say to everyone, hey, let's go together. Let's go together. We can come forward together. So, to your questions about work at Indiana University, I don't have a real formal role. I was in a task force. But what I like to tell everyone is it doesn't matter in this age where your role is, you can contribute. And my contribution is more of a messenger, okay, to keep people hearing about how we can move forward. But since my focus is organization, I'm constantly trying to help us to say, okay, who are we? What are our values? Can we live our values as we are moving forward? There's no need to throw away our values as we are transitioning to this new technology. We should be taking our values and integrating it with
That's correct.
the technologies. So that's kind of what I say. And again, I'm the first one to say, yes, things are moving faster with at least, and it's not just AI. It's all kinds of technologies,
Yes,
okay, that
yes.
are causing this convergence of speed. And next year we may be talking about physical AI as well. But again, someone in the organization, maybe it's someone like me who's just a professor, a director of a teaching and learning center, or maybe it's a senior leader to say, hey, if you're not there, don't worry about it. You'll get there. We'll help you. We'll provide training. We'll provide collaboration opportunities. So you're developing each person and giving them that opportunity to join with you. There's that people with technology.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with Professor Jones because if I always believe in this human AI symbiosis.
Yeah.
The problem with people right now is looking at AI as a standalone. It's no longer just a car, a calculator. It's a companion, right? It's someone that I'm using the word someone
Yeah.
that may be a bit impatient, the system one and system two thing. We still need to play the role of the system two, right? To be able to do the reasoning, to slow down, to contemplate while AI is moving forward. Now, as a risk practitioner, I'm always being asked, Andy, with AI, should we all change our risk policies? My answer is no. These are human policies, right? You just need to ask yourself what can go wrong. if now AI is to come into the works of this policy, so in fact, you should be using what you have now as a foundation towards and being patient, right? Towards what can go wrong rather than what is wrong. Be more proactive than more reactive. I think that's when you can slow down, pace yourself, and move as an organization.
Yes,
If you're looking for a debate panel, you picked the wrong pair because
no, 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 no. There is no debate required. It's just an interdisciplinary conversation that has to happen.
hey,
But
because
this is not interdisciplinary, it
because
turns
like
out to
it's the
be.
wrong pair of debate because what he said
Yeah,
the
it's a match
system.
made in heaven, I guess.
Well, systems to thinking. That is where
Yeah.
it is because
Mhm.
you see, and this is one reason why I say we can do systems to thinking because there's expertise. Okay, there's expertise on AI. There's no expert that can tell us what's going to occur. No one knows
Yeah.
exactly how it's going to be. So that's actually good because it says many voices can be at the table to help shape where we're going to be rather than we have to turn to, well, this is the all knowing person who's they've already
Yeah.
decided what it is. That is not true. So
Yes.
that it should encourage more people to join the conversation and
Yeah.
help to move us forward.
Yes, that's what the intent of the podcast is. And also, just adding to your point, if we look at the godfathers of AI themselves, there's not a consensus about the risks. And of course, on the benefits, there is much of a consensus that we have, but about the risks or like predictions that they have, like, okay, within a decade, we will have AGI and stuff like that. There's no such consensus. So, of course, there's a lot of room for other people to join the conversation at the table. So I do agree with what
Yeah.
both of you said. Yeah.
That's why we wrote our chapter 2, I think, right? So where we try to identify the debates that is happening right now. And we want to
Yes.
tell people that the debates are not debating in the direction that benefits something.
Mhm.
And the something is humanity.
Mhm.
So what if it's
Yeah.
AGI tomorrow? Does that going to impact humanity? The positive way
Yeah.
or the other way, right? So the debates are great, right? But the debates needs to be aligned
Yes.
to a direction.
Yeah.
Someone needs to steer that. Yeah. So
Yes,
that
yes.
yeah. So that's what we really hope. The word AI for humanity is something that drums into people when they start to think about. Yeah, I'm debating, right? I'm the expert, fine. But can we gather more people and we move as a village to solve the biggest problem in mankind?
Yes, yes, yes. And I guess that problem is the trust problem, like trust in the AI systems that as mentioned by your book. So yeah, I do agree.
Trust problem is one, ego
Yeah.
problem is one, is probably the humans. As we, like I said, we acknowledge some of this, and
Mhm.
in fact, we want to assume that we have some of these flaws and we want to manage it. That's why,
Yeah.
you have international standards that comes in trying to educate leaders, right, to be patient, like what Professor Joan mentioned. At the same time, to move things in a more structured manner.
Yes, 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 yes. I do agree totally. Yeah. Let's move on the other question. So, indeed, your book describes the psychological trauma of Kenya's click workers, who were involved with filtering disturbing content for ChatGPT. So, how do we build global AI governance frameworks that protect these invisible human workforces while still allowing for innovation? And I'm asking this as a personal question as well, because I have been working as a bug bounty hunter at Anthropic and I have had experience with this firsthand. So, give me an answer to solve my issue. What's coming next? Our experts reveal how to protect the invisible workforce like the Kenyan click workers behind the AI systems, discuss the importance of empathy in ethical AI development, and share practical advice on thriving in this AI age. We will explore the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 18 for AI. Professor Jones also shares why young people are the key to a positive AI future rather than a dystopian one. Please do like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to make the YouTube algorithm happy and help us build an informed community that is excited about AI's benefits while staying aware of its risks. Stay tuned for the next part of this episode. This is Aashka signing off for now. Let's ride these airwaves again soon.